the Maniac Sylvia against 6'10", Gan Mcgee. Sylvia, pinpoint punching accuracy, devastating in his win so far against a big man, in fact a bigger man in Gan Mcgee. Now it's time for the big one, for the heavyweight championship. Tim Sylvia, 6'8", against 6'10", Gan Mcgee. The two largest men ever to fight for a UFC title collide tonight for the UFC World Heavyweight Championship. The champion, Tim the Maniac Sylvia, stands 6'8" and weighs 260 pounds. He is undefeated at 17-0, finishing 15 of 17 opponents.
When I fought Rico Rodriguez, I was a huge underdog, and I liked that. I liked being the underdog. It was a huge drive for me, knowing that he thought he could beat me that easily. Gan's a tough guy, and some guys, when they get the belt, they kind of relax. Not me. I want to keep this belt for a long time, so I train just as hard, if not harder, for this fight. The game plan is to keep my hands up and throw the straight punches right down the pipe and knock them out.
The challenger, Gan the Giant Mcgee, stands 6'10" and weighs 265. His mixed martial arts record is 12-1, and he is known for finishing most of his opponents in the first round.
After beating Pedro Hizo, I think that kind of showed it too. If I can knock that guy, and take him out with a strike standing, then I can do it to anyone. I think I definitely have the ability to strike with him. I definitely have the ability to take him down and finish him on the ground.
Up next, Tim the Maniac Sylvia versus Gan the Giant Mcgee for the UFC World Heavyweight Championship. Wow. Over 500 pounds will collide here tonight. Gan Mcgee, Northern Cold, Black Blood Diesel, his entrance music of choice. 26 years old, he uses his wrestling in reverse. He is a fearsome striker. He is also an outstanding wrestler.
Absolutely, Mike. He's a protege of John Hackleman, who also trains Chuck Liddell in the pit. And this guy is just like Chuck Liddell in the fact that he's a striker who's also a very good wrestler. He avoids a takedown and want to keep guys on their feet and blast them outstanding. Excellent striker and an excellent wrestler. Very, very strong guy.
And not afraid to fight against the best and strike against the best, is evidenced above the fight that he spoke of at UFC 39 against Pedro the Rock Hizo. He's loopy with his throws, but they're very lethal.
Just like Chuck Liddell, he throws those, that's how John Hackleman trains them, I guess. They throw these looping punches, but they hit you, you're going to sleep.
Gan Mcgee,
6'11".
oh my,
that's a lot of
huge opportunity, an absolutely huge opportunity for a huge man, the Giant, Gan Mcgee, trying to win the heavyweight belt. There he is, surrounded by the Miletich camp. Tim Sylvia's been working out in Utah on the high elevation with that man. To his right on your screen, Jeremy Horn, Tony Fricklin brings the belt in for big Tim Sylvia, the Maniac.
Tim Sylvia stepping in with a kill, William Wallace style. He had to lose weight to make a 265-pound weight division, ladies and gentlemen. He was weighing in quite a few pounds over yesterday, so who knows how much he weighs now? Probably well over 270. A huge man with big power in his right hand. Has he faced a guy that's taller than him, though? Very odd to find a guy taller than you when you're 6'8".
Unless you walk around the National Basketball Association.
Who's sparring with Shaq.
Sparring with Shaq or John Spider Sally, our good friend at the Best Damn Sports Show, period.
Tim Sylvia training with what I think is the best mixed martial arts team in the world, is Miletich Fighting Camp, Davenport, Iowa. Those guys are serious. They do everything perfect. Everything the right way. Perfect jiu-jitsu, perfect striking, perfect wrestling. These guys know exactly what it takes to be a true mixed martial arts professional, and they are in a camp filled with killers. Everyone in that camp's a badass. They got Jeremy Horn, they got Tim Sylvia, Jens Pulver, Matt Hughes, Mark Hughes. I mean, it's just a cavalcade of animals down there. And all they do is train. These guys, they live in Iowa. There's nothing to do there. They train, they go to sleep, they eat, they train. Tim Sylvia is a product of that and always gives up props to Miletich.
And let us remember, the leader of that pack is the well-decorated former welterweight champion, Pat Miletich. And Pat Miletich's new thing is he wants Royce Gracie. That's a story to be said in the future. I'll tell you one thing right now, Tim Sylvia, same mindset as Matt Hughes. To be a champion is one thing. To defend your belt means you are a true champion. Tail of the Tape brought to you by Nitro, the official sports supplement of the UFC, found at nitro.tv. Look at this. I mean, nearly 14 feet tall, over 520 pounds. This is truly a battle of the giants for the biggest belt of them all, the heavyweight championship. Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this UFC championship bout is sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission with Dr. Luther Mack, Chairman. Our judges at Octagon side are Cecil Peoples, Abe Bellardo, and Tony Weeks. And now, it's time for the Battle of the Giants. This fight is 5 rounds for the title of UFC Heavyweight Champion of the World. Introducing first, the contender standing to my left. He is an expert in wrestling and holds a mixed martial arts record of 12 wins and 1 loss. He stands 6 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 264 pounds. Fighting out of San Luis Obispo, California, please welcome the Giant, Gan Mcgee! And introducing the champion standing to my right. He is an expert in the Militich fighting systems. He holds a mixed martial arts record of 17 wins with no losses. He stands 6 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 262 pounds. Fighting out of Davenport, Iowa, he is the UFC Heavyweight Champion of the World. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Maniac, Tim Sylvia. And when the action begins, our referee in charge is Big John McCarthy.
Tim Sylvia was a 5-1 underdog against Rico Rodriguez. Rico couldn't take him down. Sylvia got the victory by TKO at 309. Now McGee wants the victory, which would be a defining moment in his career.
All right,
Gan
here we
McGee.
go, UFC Heavyweight Championship.
Tim Sylvia.
Are you ready? Let's get it
Heavyweight
on.
Championship is on the line. Mandalay Bay Event Center. Sylvia's undisputed in the heavyweight class. Now he wants to be a defending heavyweight champion.
Gan Mcgee looks very relaxed in there. Very relaxed throwing the jab. He looks very calm considering he's fighting for the UFC heavyweight title. Look at his face. Just looks like a day in the office. Very relaxed. He almost has a smirk on his face.
Sylvia's got great technique for a big man. Great technique.
Well, absolutely. You have to if you train with Milicic fighting.
You're absolutely right. I mean, those guys go toe-to-toe every day. 3 years with the Milicic camp, and you can see it.
Oh.
Remember, McGee's wrestling is excellent, but we kind of think we're going to see a slugfest here.
A lot of those guys from the pit, they have that style. Excellent wrestlers who are good strikers. Keep you standing up. You can't take them down. And when they stand up with you, they blast you. Nice. Nice right hand by McGee.
You just described Chuck Liddell, didn't you?
He's very relaxed. He keeps his hands down. His hands are very low, which is probably not the best idea. Tim Sylvia's got a vicious right hand that he showed against Rico Rodriguez.
McGee went toe-to-toe with Pedro Hizzo, so we know he's got a great chin.
He was also all over Josh Barnett in their bout until he gassed out.
You're right.
Whoa.
There's a good combination. Sylvia, he's the one closing the gap. Hard to find a guy 6'10" to train with, so there might be some feeling out here on the long reach of Gan McGee.
The both of them, they're just not used to seeing guys as big as themselves. Big right hand.
Good right hand.
That's
It's
what I'm
down
talking
goes
about.
McGee.
He's rocked.
Sylvia trying to finish it.
Out.
And it is all over. It is all over. Tim Sylvia
That's what I was
defends
talking
his
about.
belt and does it
Oh,
quickly.
he's out bad. He's still out. His neck is up.
Tim Sylvia with a big right hand has knocked out Gan McGee.
Wow.
Waited, time delivered, and devastated.
Like I was saying before, Gan Mcgee looked very relaxed. His hands were down low, which probably isn't the best idea when you're facing a guy with that kind of right-hand power.
Stay right there.
I guarantee you one thing, Tim Sylvia will never be a 5-1 underdog for anyone ever again.
Put him on the stool. Sit down right there.
Yeah, bring on Fedor now. Pride heavyweight champion.
No kidding, huh?
That's the man in the heavyweight division right now, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at that big right hand.
Bam!
That's it, on the button. The first one rocked him, the second one on the button. You notice when they were standing, he's just out there. Big John McCarthy wisely wrestles him away and rescues him. See, Tim Sylvia has a much more classic boxing style with his hands up, protecting himself. The first right hand rocked him a little, but the second one right on the button, and Mcgee goes down.
And Sylvia finishes.
There's a reason why guys keep their hands up and their shoulders up and their chin tucked down. Tim Sylvia had the classic boxing stance. Gan Mcgee was very loose and open, and he paid for that.
Bring on Fedor, huh?
Absolutely. Pride heavyweight champion Emelianenko Fedor is considered one of the best heavyweights in the world right now. But I gotta think right now, Tim Sylvia would have an advantage over him.
There he is.
Shaq
Shaq Daddy's in the house.
Somebody teach that guy how to fight.
And he's sporting the UFC hat. And the crowd loves it. They are on their feet at the Mandalay Bay. Shaq has arrived. So, see, now, what did I say? If you're looking for somebody who's big, bring in the NBA, and here comes Shaquille O'Neal.
Teach Shaq how to spar.
Oh, my. Well, didn't he do it in Kazam or whatever? Wasn't he
I
sparring
don't think
there?
that's real.
Nah, you know what? You're right. That was a movie. That's an excellent point. Bruce Buffer's all about reality.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner by knockout in round number 1 at 1 minute 54 seconds. For the winner, and still the UFC heavyweight champion of the world, the Maniac, Tim Sylvia.